Brilliance Audio presents A Single Swallow by Zhang Ling. Translated by Shelley Bryant. Performed by Arthur Morey, Adam Werner, Fyodor Chin, Tanya Eby, and Christopher Lane.
Here I am, almost without delay. If you went to that cemetery on the outskirts of Detroit, you'd find the flowers on my grave have barely faded. You probably noticed I'm wearing the plain khakis we wore in camp. In fact, I still have the Navy uniform I had tailor-made for me in Shanghai, packed in my suitcase and still in good condition. It was the only uniform I had in China. The tailors in Shanghai probably never imagined victory would bring them such lasting success. From the day we got to China, we stopped wearing our military uniforms. Miles ordered that we only wear plain khakis, with no military hat and no insignia to identify service or rank. It made it easier to avoid formalities when we ran into our commanding officers. But more importantly, if we fell into Japanese hands, they wouldn't be able to learn anything about us from our clothing. In the fall of 1945, when we finally left the remote village of Zhaohu for Shanghai, everyone was full of anticipation. We had a saying, "Shanghai is Shanghai. Shanghai is not China." Shanghai had visible influences from around the world. It hardly seemed like part of China anymore. In a city like that, no one could afford to look disheveled. We needed sharp new suits, and we had to stay on our toes. The first thing we did when we got there was ask the hotel concierge about a well-respected tailor. Then we had him rustle up some blue sailor uniforms, each with a neck scarf, white cuffs, flared legs, and on the sleeve a golden eagle with crossed gun barrels and 3 bright red chevrons under its claws, the emblem of a gunner's mate first class. It was finally time for us to take the stage and make sure the attention of those fashionable women in rickshaws along the Bund would not forever belong exclusively to the Army and Air Force. That Navy uniform made in Shanghai has always accompanied me on my travels. Though its color faded, the blue was still pure, and the weave remained as strong as a copper plate. After 70 years, its quality did credit to the workmanship of the tailor. But I left the world in my plain khakis, according to the detailed instructions I'd left in my will for the funeral home. Alive, a person might wear hundreds or thousands of outfits, but dead, he can only wear one. I picked this unremarkable tan as my shroud because it reminded me of equality and dignity. I know I've kept you waiting, but I'm here now, and I lost no time coming. Please don't greet me with those looks, friends. No, comrades. I was 94 when I died. I lived too long and inevitably made some new friends. Some were classmates, some were colleagues, and some I knew because we shared interests. We've attended each other's weddings, children's christenings, anniversary celebrations, and funerals. We've been godparents to one another's children. We've trusted our life's secrets and our ups and downs to one another, but never our actual lives. So they are only my friends, not my comrades. I guard this word comrade like an Asian girl guards her chastity, not giving it easily to others. We were strangers before the war, and after the war I barely contacted you. I once sent a letter to the U.S. address Pastor Billy left me, but it was returned after a few months. I didn't understand why until today. 5 years later, at an annual meeting of the American instructors, we remembered old times in Zhaohu, talking of buffalo, snot, and Liu Zhaohu. When I got back to the hotel that night, I was a little emotional. I couldn't help writing a letter to Liu Zhaohu. I thought it would probably just sink into the sea, because the country was going through a major transformation. After that, I didn't try to contact either of you, and I didn't get news about either of you for the rest of my life. Although our time together was short, I still call you my comrades.